Turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let me back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with shade.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
Late night with Shay. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time, the place to get the real facts. No fake mess here, y'all. Tonight is True Crimes Tuesday. All right. And I got a couple of true crime stories to tell you guys about. They're sad. So, get ready for that. Before we start, though, guys, let me go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area, and part of it is floating across that screen. If you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notifications. Make sure you share and leave a comment. All right, guys, and hype this video up as well. And if you want to show additional support for the channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash out donation at $ShadesTube, or copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Again, welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay over here in the chat. We got Jermaine in the place to be. Thank you so much for being here today. Tonight, you guys will be on here for about 30 to 40 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Get your relaxing bed or wherever you're at. If you are at work, continue to do your job, but watch or listen to me on the down low. And let's go ahead and get started once I go down here and put my music on in the background. Okay, and I hope you guys had a beautiful Tuesday, and I hope your Wednesday is just as great. Okay, let's turn this down just a little bit more. And let's change some things around real quick, and then we are getting ready to get started. In 1 second. All right. Now let's change this back to this. Stream, y'all should have a little button that we can just push, right? Charging $50 a month. They should implement that. All right. So, like I said before, this is True Crime Tuesday. Okay. And every Tuesday I will do this. And I did have it for Thursday, but I changed it. Okay. So it's going to be True Crime Tuesday, True Crimes. And the first thing that I want to tell you about, the first story that I want to tell you guys about is concerning what this mom did to her son while he was in the hospital, okay? So let me go and tell you this story. Let me turn that down just a little bit more. It's too loud. Okay, so anyway, this is according to Newsbreak. Okay, so anyway, they said that a 3-year-old, oh man, I got the wrong story. Sorry, hold on, y'all. I don't know how it got to this story right here. Let me get to this one. Now that story has magically, let me put it in here because it's magically disappeared. You know, I hate when they do this. So let me type it in the search bar real quick. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Hold on for a minute. Okay. So anyway, I think this is the same lady right here. Make sure this is the same lady. Yeah, this is her. So Tiffany Alberts, okay. She was sentenced to 7 years in prison for injecting her teenage son's IV line with fecal matter while he was in the hospital for leukemia. This is a horrible lady, okay? Just horrible. Hospital people in Indianapolis observed the 15-year-old boy developing several blood infections. He had a fever, he started vomiting, and he had diarrhea in November 2016. Surveillance video showed Tiffany using a syringe on her son's IV bag. Now, Tiffany confessed to injecting her son's feces into his IV bag, claiming she intended to get him moved to a different unit for better care. These infections delayed his cancer treatment, increasing his risk of relapse. Now, anyway, Tiffany received a 7-year sentence after being convicted of aggravated battery and neglect charges. And that lady is actually on my thumbnail, okay? Her picture is on my thumbnail so you guys can see it. And like I said, this happened back in 2019. So let's see what else they have here. So let's see it right here. They got it all over the place. But anyway, this is not the right woman right here. You know what? Believe it or not, it's a lot of moms who did this. Okay, I'm just looking at all these different stories right now. I just thought this was this one lady, but there are a lot of women that did this. So this is the one I'm talking about, Tiffany, though. It's so many, I cannot even believe this. And she looks a hot mess too, but anyway. So let me make sure I was reading the right story. Let's make sure. Yeah, this is her. Yeah, this is the same lady. And she did it. He had the IV on his left hand. Okay. And I don't know how she thought that no one would see her crazy self. And then she claimed she did this because she wanted him to get better care. So she was going to make him sicker in order to get better care. That's crazy. Anyway, they did order her not to have unsupervised contact with any minors as part of her bail conditions. So let's see here. So her look nasty, but this was, let's see. This woman went into the bathroom with a cup. She then put what appeared to be fecal matter into the syringe and injected into the IV line on the child's left hand. That is crazy, man. So let's go to her story. Or yes, she's insane, but she said she did it because she wanted him to get better care. Okay, which is crazy because if you felt like the hospital wasn't doing enough for her son, she could have easily, maybe transferred him to a different hospital versus trying to make him sicker. He probably could have even passed on from that, because, putting that inside of an IV, feces have a lot of different things, that's just nasty, you guys. It really, truly is. Let me show y'all what this woman looks like on here. I had to make sure I had the right story because the actual story disappeared off my phone. And then I typed this in and so many different stories came up. But this is her name right here. Let's see. Make sure I spell her name right. S-U-E. Okay. And then you are 35 years old. Don't got no sense. So this is her right here. Let's see. Okay, let me go ahead and share this real quick. Present. This lady talking loud too, man. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit because she is very loud. Loud. Okay.
Child with feces. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is horrific. A 35-year-old Ohio woman has been accused of trying to poison her child in an awful way. That's because she allegedly injected a foreign substance, specifically human feces, into a child's IV at a hospital over the weekend. Guess why the child was in the hospital to begin with? Suspected abuse. So this is Tiffany LeSueur, and she was arrested yesterday on Monday, February 9th. She was charged with 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. According to reports, the incident occurred this past Friday at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. And again, that's in Ohio. The child was reportedly admitted to the hospital on Friday, February 6th, and that was due to injuries from suspected child ABUSC. The child's name, age, and gender have not yet been revealed. Reportedly that same day the child was admitted to the hospital, a staff member at the hospital allegedly saw Tiffany here use a syringe to inject an unknown substance into her child's IV port. The medical staff then notified the Columbus Police Department about the incident. The staff also told police that when Tiffany came back to visit her child, they would monitor her interactions with the child. So that's exactly what they did. 2 days later, the hospital staff went through surveillance footage and they saw Tiffany here yet again try to contaminate her child's IV. According to reports, the footage showed her going into the hospital room's bathroom and she was carrying a specimen cup like you go to the bathroom in. When she exited the bathroom, it appeared the cup had human feces in it, meaning she went in the cup absolutely sick. She then proceeded to mix the fecal matter with a liquid before she used a syringe to inject the mixture into the IV line that was attached to her child's left hand. After this incident, she was luckily arrested. Reportedly, Tiffany made her first court appearance in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas today on Tuesday, February 10th. A judge ordered her to remain behind bars on a $250,000 bond. If she does post her bond, she cannot have any unsupervised contact with any minors. She is currently scheduled to appear in court again next week on February 19th for her preliminary hearing. What a disgusting, foul human being.
So when I couldn't originally find the actual story, they must have had this other story combined with this story. Because like I said, there's a bunch of articles in here with different women doing the same thing. So I think 2 stories are combined into one. And that's one thing about when you look up articles and stuff, That's why the original article, I wish it wouldn't have disappeared, but sometimes Newsbreak does that. It makes the article disappear. But the story is just as I just said the second time, and just what she said. The woman injected feces into her child's IV at the hospital. Okay. Her name is Tiffany LeSueur as well. The other lady that they combined it with is named is Tiffany too. The last name is different. So I'm still trying to figure out what would make her do such a crazy thing. Now, this child right here did not have leukemia. It was the other child. Because like I said, two stories are joining together. That's the only thing about AI. Sometimes it joins stuff together because of the same names, except the last name is different. So let me pull up the other story real quick. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. So I'm just going to go to Fox 10 because Newsbreak got it all misconstrued or whatever the case is. So like I said, I don't know why this lady would do this. Now, this woman right here is not the one who wanted her child to have better care. I don't know why she did it. She crazy, I guess. Or if she was abusing this child, maybe she didn't want the child to tell, or I don't know, just another form of abuse or what, because I'm just trying to figure out why she would do it. And this is the one that I said that they had that part right where they said she appeared in court and was ordered not to have unsupervised contact with minors as part of her bail conditions. But like this lady said, they did not grant her any bail. It doesn't say here in the story that I'm reading, though. It just said a preliminary hearing is scheduled for February the 19th. And so that's coming up soon. I think sometime next week, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. That's next Thursday, I believe. But anyway, what do you guys got to say about her? And like I said, it's a bunch of people here, a bunch of women who have done this, which is crazy. This was the other one right here that I said that happened back in 2019. That was that's the one with a teenager who is 15 years old, and she put fecal matter into his IV bag, and she was sentenced to 7 years in prison. So that's a different story, but similar. Except this lady it looks different. Her name is Tiffany too, so that's why AI confused the two. So that's a different woman right there. So they got her on 6 counts of aggravated battery and 1 count of neglect. But she was found not guilty of attempted murder charge. And I guess because this is the one who told them that she put that in her son's IV because she wanted him to have better treatment, which is crazy. So she was sentenced to 7 years. So she's about to get out if she's not already out. That's the one who her son was being treated for leukemia. Okay? And honestly, this lady right here, this Tiffany right here, when she put that feces inside of the IV, she could have made this little child very, very sick with bacterial infections and all types of stuff. So, I mean, they should get her on attempted murder. They really should, because she could have unalived her son. That's weird. And clearly, this woman right here, Tiffany L., she did not give a damn about her son or daughter, because, I mean, why would you do this? She was already abusing the child at home, okay? And then you're going to abuse him some more by putting your stuff inside of his IV? That's nasty. Let me see what some of these people are saying. Somebody said, how does someone even think of doing something so sick? I don't know. Some people do not need to be parents. And like I said, in these articles right here, There are many stories like this. I thought it was only one. It is a lot. You got another woman who was accused of injecting feces into her child's IV bag, and they gave her 7 felony charges. And they said she put fecal matter into her son's IV lines multiple times. So it's not an isolated thing. You got a Utah woman doing the same thing. Something is wrong with these people. Now, this lady just did this last year, this other one, the Utah woman who put, they said she introduced bacteria, fecal matter into the toddler's bloodstream, a 2-year-old's. And she has a 2nd-degree felony. So that's something is wrong with some of these women. Then a West Virginia woman, she did the same thing. What the heck is wrong with these women? I cannot believe all of these articles I'm seeing. Another one in December 21st, 2023. Another woman did the same thing. So, it's easy. If you don't want children, use protection so you won't get pregnant. Because to be doing stuff like this is beyond evil. Why would you put fecal matter in your child's IV? Why? I mean, it's like a lot of articles like this. They have a lot of, I cannot believe all these daggone articles about that. Back in 2015, the same thing, another woman. And all of these are women. I don't see one man in here that's been accused of this. And she's just the latest, Tiffany LaSahua, however you pronounce her last name. She is the latest one who has done this, and she probably read some of these articles right here, and that's what made her decide to do this right here versus doing other things, because it's a lot. That is crazy. So what y'all got to say about that? That's, some people do not need children, you guys. They really don't. Let's see what y'all got to say over here. You got to say. I didn't either. Like I said, I see why AI confused the two stories and put them together. You know how they combine some information with another article because of the names are the same except the last name. But the thing is, there are a lot of these cases here. Okay, a lot, more than 10. So that is plainly ridiculous. And they are all women. I don't see not one man, father, that did this. Not saying that they won't do it, but these are all women right here. Every single one of them. 2-year-olds, teenagers, older little kids. I mean, that's just plain ridiculous. If you don't want the children, just give them to someone, okay? Because, I mean, damn, why are you going to abuse your kids? You're going to put stuff in their IVs when they're already sick or, in the hospital fighting something, I mean, what is the point of having kids if you are going to do things like this or abuse them? If you don't want the kids, give them away to someone that will, take care of them the right way and show them love and won't do this type of foolishness and this crazy stuff to their own flesh and blood. What is wrong with these people? So this woman right here, when she goes to the next hearing, and then when she goes to her trial, I really do hope she gets, a while in prison, because she needs to think about her actions fully. All right. I mean, when people hurt kids, when they do things to kids, I honestly believe that they should spend no less than 10 years, if not more, because she know, she could have easily unalived her son or daughter. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either. It's weird. Okay. Shit. Like I said, you learn something new every day when you see these news articles, because like I said, I just thought it was one. That's why I didn't catch what AI made a mistake until I kept on looking at it. Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing either. It's just weird, especially with the one whose son who had or has leukemia. I mean, why would you do that? And then you say you did it to get your child better cancer treatment. That's crazy. And you got to wonder what is going on in these people's minds. You know what I'm saying? To even do something so crazy. That is just plainly ridiculous, guys. And parents, women, like I said before, if you don't want a child, just make sure that you do not have any. Make any sense? So this is in a different, it's not here, but I still want to tell you guys about this. Let me take this weird ass lady off the screen. And I hope this child is okay. My prayers are extended out to that child and any other kids who have experienced abuse or, this type of abuse or any type of abuse. And I hope that when they find parents that do this, I hope they do get everything they need to get, because you should never abuse kids. And you certainly shouldn't be defecating in a cup or anywhere else or using theirs or anybody's fecal matter and putting inside of an IV. You shouldn't be putting anything there. And then she's stupid anyway. All in the hospitals, they got cameras and everything else. You deserve to be in prison for life, honestly. And I really do mean that. My prayers are extended out to that child and to all the other kids too. Now, let me just tell y'all about this. It was at least 10 unalive and 25 injured after a woman in a dress opened fire at a school in home in Canada. This is a mass shooting. That's sad. So she opened fire at a school in a small town in Canada. They said this lady, SHOT victims at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School in Tumbler Ridge before two more bodies were found at a nearby home believed to be linked to that, incident. So as we see, school GUN violence is not just happening here. This is sad. It's so much is happening throughout the world. They said 10 people are unalive, 9 plus the suspect, who was found with what police described as a self-inflicted injury. 6 victims were found unalive inside the Tumbler Ridge Secondary School in British Columbia, while a 7th passed on the way to the hospital. That is sad. That is, They said the kids was hiding in the classrooms when this lady started SHOOTING. So a little girl, or I think this is a girl either, but I don't know for sure. Oh, it's a boy. He is in grade 12, okay? He told CBC Radio he was already in class when the horror started. Goodness. He said he arrived at around 1:30 p.m. local time when an alarm sounded in the hallways, ordering a lockdown. Darren said the doors were shut for some time before he and classmates realized something was badly wrong. He was reportedly receiving photos on his phone from the scene. Then fear took over. Darren and his classmates got tables and barricaded the doors for more than 2 hours until armed officers arrived to escort them out. That's sad. Darren's mom, Shelley, said she heard students being escorted from the building while on the phone with her son. Darren's mom said she could hear police kicking Darren's classroom door down over the phone. And she said that's when she left home. She said she basically ran to the school. This is sad. They said more than 25 others have been hurt, including 2 with life-threatening injuries who were airlifted to the hospital. And the shooter, like I said before, she was a female, but they do not know her identity yet. At least at that time they did. They probably do now, because that was 5 hours ago. They do not know her motives either. And they did not identify the type of GUN she used. And they do not know the shooter's, connection to the school. That is crazy, man. So again, as you see, GUN violence is it's not just happening here in the USA. It's affecting many different places, okay? Because obviously some of these weirdos who got GUNs do not need to have them, okay? Point blank. They shouldn't even be able to have access to them at all. Anyway, let's see here. This is So their prime minister there, Mark Carney, said he was devastated by what he called a horrific SHOOTINGS, okay? He said, my prayers and deepest condolences are with the families and friends who have lost loved ones to these horrific acts of violence. He also said he joined in with Canadians in grieving with those whose lives have been changed today, and in gratitude for the courage and selflessness of the first responders who risked their lives to protect their fellow citizens. He said, our ability to come together in crisis is the best of our country, our empathy, our unity, and our compassion for each other. That's sad. I'm going to say that again. You know, my condolences are expressed out to all of those who are affected by this mass, you know what, and my prayers are extended out to them. And this, you know, the thing is that this is a different, you know, country or whatever the case is, but it's good to know what's happening, you know, worldwide. All right. And as you see tonight, that G violence is just not a United States of America thing. Many other countries face the same thing, you know, regarding G violence. So what did you say? It's a shame children can't feel safe at school. They even have live, you know what, drills now. We never had that. I know. All we had was tornado drills, right? Now you got to have that type of drill, which is a shame, you know. And then you think about how can they improve, you know, safety? How can they make schools safer? You know, I mean, at one time I said that maybe they should put, you know, armed security in the schools, you know, to make sure, you know, everything is safe there. And maybe they should put detectors, metal detectors or whatever at the doorway, but that would cost so much money. But I really do think that they probably should put some type of security in there armed, because these people are crazy. They be doing weird stuff. Other than that, I don't know what else they could do, you know, in these schools, besides putting armed security there, you know, more than one at the doors and stuff. And maybe in, you know, in the hallway or something, you know, it just depends on how big the school is. I know one thing, something needs to be done because it's getting out of hand. Not just here in America, but in many different places, you know, just going into schools, doing all that. And why did she do that? Why? Let's see what a couple commenters are saying real quick. What time is it? Okay. Somebody said, bet there, you know what comes from the USA. It doesn't really matter where they come from, because that's not going to bring these kids back or people back who got unalive. Okay, we are looking for real solutions, okay? Not the blame game. Okay, that's not going to save anybody's lives if we just sit here and just blame instead of figuring out what could be done. Now they did say Canada has strict GUN laws. But the thing about it, one thing y'all keep on forgetting, people find a way to get GUNS. Okay? They do. Like somebody said, laws do not stop bad people from getting GUNS. Keep citizens protected. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. And the thing about it is, the laws don't stop bad people from getting GUNS. But if they did real legal stuff, like for example, if you do something like this, I don't know what all this you get 20 years incarcerated or 10 or whatever the case is. This should be automatic life in prison. Automatic. When you go inside of a school and start doing this and unaliving kids, it should be automatic life, point blank. And I bet you if they made these, I can't even think because it's late. If they made laws tougher in regards to people getting incarcerated and make people do some real time and then make them do some real labor in these prisons and stuff and take away, certain privileges, I guarantee you people would stop doing certain things because they wouldn't want to go to prison or jail. Okay? Some of these people, when they go to prison or jail, they talk about it, they brag about it all on social media, act like it was nothing. They get phones in there, they get DRUGS, have an XEX, get a chance to watch certain programs on TV, all types of stuff. And that's why some people don't mind about going there. Okay? If they made it tougher and make certain things a mandatory life sentence with no possibility of parole or anything, or probation or anything, people will stop doing stuff, especially in regards to kids. So, I think they need to make tougher, laws. If you do certain things, you don't get your freedom ever. Now, this lady right here didn't have to worry about that because she did what some other people do. She took her own life. That's what she did, took her own life. So she wouldn't have to, face, the consequences of her actions. It's plainly ridiculous, okay? Again, my condolences and prayers are extended out to all of the people who lost loved ones and the people who are injured in the hospitals and things. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and tell you guys this other story, then we are going to get ready to get out of here, okay? I only got a couple more minutes, so let me go ahead and do this. And excuse my bloopers tonight. Y'all know it's hard to do lives at night. I don't know how people stay up doing lives all day and night. Anyway, this is a sad little story right here. Let me make sure I get the right story because we know news break be tripping. Hold on, let me make sure it goes to the right story. Okay, so this is a story about this 3-year-old who was once again SHOT and unalive by police in hostage situation involving the dad who was holding him. This is sickly. Okay, why would you be? Let's first read it. Hold on. So a 3-year-old boy in Las Vegas was shot during a hostage situation involving his father and police officers after a domestic dispute happened within the home, I guess. Both the father and the child passed on, and the mother of the toddler is disputing claims that the boy's father approached officers on the scene with a GUN, which resulted in shots fired. However, the situation escalated. This mother's life would never be the same. I hope she had a Ring camera or some type of other camera so she could have got this all there, you know. Anyway, Nevada authorities have released body cam footage from the fatal pew pew of a 3-year-old boy who was unalive while being carried by his father in what was called a hostage situation outside a home in Las Vegas. 3-year-old Kentre Baker was being held by his father, 28-year-old Quentin Baker, who police allege approached officers dispatched to the home while he was holding a gun and pointing it at the child. According to People, the body cam footage shows Quentin Baker walking towards officers while carrying 3-year-old Kentre in his left arm. Police say the father was pointing a you-know-what at the child as he approached officers, and they ordered him to drop the weapon. Baker did not deny having a gun, but instead demanded to see his child's mother, Wanika Pate. When the pew pew ensued, it is unclear whether it was the officers or Baker taking the first shot. That's according to the magazine. Anyway, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officers were dispatched to a home around 1:19 a.m. on February 3rd, 2026. After a woman, later identified as Kentre Baker's mother, Wanika, told dispatchers Baker was going to hurt her baby, according to Fox 5. In the first dispatch call to authorities, now what's her first name? Wanika said Baker had battered her friend and was going to take her child from her apartment. She also stated that Baker was threatening to unalive her and her son. While they were on their way to the residence, police discovered that Baker had allegedly fired 2 rounds at a car leaving the apartment complex. Wow. I always forget these people's names. Let's see, what's her name again? Hold on. Wanika told KSMB that she saw the incident while in a police car, and she disputes key portions of the police account. She said she informed police that Baker was very agitated and asked officers to calm or de-escalate the situation without any lethal force because her son was in the apartment. Although police say Baker was armed with a gun, Wanika states that he did not have a weapon. The mother told KSMB that Baker was carrying her son, walking towards the officers, and she alleges there were at least 7 or 8 officers with their weapons fully drawn, and the officers all opened fire. And you know what? I believe her. I really do. Anyway, the family hopes to see the body camera footage to help them better understand Kentre and Quentin's last moments, Okay? So I'm not going to pull that footage up because it's going to be very violent, and YouTube is going to, obviously block it. So I'm not going to pull it up. You guys can feel free to check it out on TikTok or YouTube or wherever you would like to check it out at. But the thing is that if the cops fired, as this Wanika states, all of them should be held accountable to the fullest of the law, for real. You don't pew-pew at someone with a child in in their arms. You don't do that. And somebody said, don't glorify bad behavior. Who in their right mind would have a GUN pointed at a child? The thing is, even if he did have that GUN pointed at a child, if this is true, that doesn't mean that the cops should start going crazy shooting, right? And then end up, hitting the child. If anything, you should be making him put that child down some type of way. Or maybe, I don't know what else they could have done, because if if you sneak up on him, he may unalive the child. I don't know if he was actually trying to unalive the child either, because this could be a lie. Now, once we see the body camera footage, and then we would know what the real truth is. Because remember, anytime something happened, or just anything, there's always more than two sides of a story. I know some people say it's only two, but it's more than two. Okay, you got the truth. Okay, you got her side, the other person's side, then you got the truth, and then sometimes you have straight up lies. So it's the person who's listening to all of this job to see what makes sense and what doesn't. Somebody said just what I said. The police should have never shot at the man. Doesn't matter if he was the one who put the child in danger. Okay, it doesn't matter. They don't shoot at the man while he has a child in his arm. Because clearly, if the dude didn't have a GUN pointed at the child, clearly the police didn't care. Because if they shot at this dude while he was holding the child, that means they didn't give a damn about the child. Okay. And then, like somebody said, they said the dad was holding a GUN to the child, but also they were not sure if he had a GUN at all. So when they released that body cam footage, I can't wait to see it. That's sad. Now, somebody said the body cam footage does show, so they must have already released it. It shows the dad coming out the house with a GUN pointed at his son. I feel you shouldn't be making statements about the Vegas Police Department just to engage people and create hate for law enforcement. Body cam video does not lie. Okay? But still, that doesn't still excuse them. The police, they should have still shot the dude with the child in his arm. They should have tried to encourage him to put that child down and maybe figure out another way they could, get this dude. Somebody said the same thing I said. It doesn't matter. When the police saw the child's life in danger, they should have stood down. And I really want to see that body cam footage, but you can't show it here. So let me see what it looks like real quick. What is the name of this? Let's see. Let's see if we can pull up. I'm not going to pull it up here, though, because, again, YouTube will block it. Let me see. Go to TikTok and put it up. Let me hurry up. Let's see, because I don't want to go over that hour. Let's see. Damn. So let me see if I can put this in here. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Let's see, body camera footage. Of three, he's 3 years old, right? Let's see if I can pull it up, the right one. That's not the right one. I know it was going to be hard. Let's see. What is this little? And you know what? You really got a lot of stories like this too. Okay, you have a lot of stories like this. This is the one right here. That's a cute little boy. So Let me look. Let me see. What is this? Oh, God, let's see. Let me just type this so we can see this part. We're not going to look at the body cam footage, though. I'm going to do this real quick. I got to hurry up because we don't got that long. Let's see. I pulled it up on my phone, not the body cam footage. I don't see the body cam footage. They may have it. I don't know. You can write this there. So let me just type his name in because you can't even write stuff up in this damn chat. Let's see. His name is Quentin. Ken Trey. I think his name is Ken Trey. I think that's how you pronounce the little boy's name. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. So yeah, here's the one I want to see.
A man and his 3-year-old son are dead following a police-involved shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada. This began as reports of DV, but escalated into a deadly confrontation. On police department responded to multiple take a child away from an apartment complex in the 8400th block of South Maryland Parkway. While en route, officers were also informed that a weapon had been drawn and fired in the apartment complex parking lot. Investigators arrived on scene and identified the suspect as Quentin Baker. Police say that Baker exited an apartment holding his 3-year-old son, Kentre Baker, while armed with a firearm. According to authorities, Baker refused repeated commands to surrender and allegedly pointed the weapon toward the child as officers attempted to de-escalate the situation. Police say that officers opened fire as Baker continued to advance toward them. Investigators claim that Baker discharged his weapon during the encounter and that a bullet that he actually fired struck his child. Quentin Baker was fired at by authorities and hit. He was pronounced dead at the scene, while Kentre Baker was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced dead. This is all according to police reports. The child's mother actually has publicly disputed the police's version of events. She said that she had been placed inside of a patrol vehicle prior to the incident, but was able to witness what had happened. She said that Quentin Baker was not armed, and she believes that police gunfire is what struck her son. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has declined to comment directly on her allegations, citing the investigation as active and ongoing. The department confirmed that body-worn camera footage and additional evidence are being reviewed and will be released during a scheduled public briefing later this week. This is devastating, but an investigation will be able to unravel the truth here. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
That was a beautiful little family too. The thing is though, I don't know if that body cam footage has been released yet, because I don't see anything on here, but it could be. Is this? No, this is a different one right here. See, I don't even see that. Yeah, I don't see it on here. So I don't know if they released it yet at all. I don't think they released that body cam footage yet, but I can't wait to see it whenever they do. And when they do release it, we will talk about this story, because I'm wondering if this is the truth, what the police said, if he was actually, holding that GUN at his son and doing the most. I don't think he would have shot his son though. I think even if he did do that, he was just probably trying to get away or whatever the case is. I still don't think they should have started shooting. Period. I don't think they should have. But I have to see the body cam footage, like I just said, and stuff. But I still say you don't start doing all that when someone is holding a child, point blank, because a child is innocent. All right, damn, in this little baby's life and stuff. Anyway, my prayers and condolences are expressed to the mom and to the other family members and stuff. That's a sad situation, They domestic violence situation turned into a real tragedy, because she lost her son lost his life, and that's sad. And like I said, once that body camera footage comes out, we would definitely be, if they have it blurred out, I have to see. Even if they don't have it blurred out though, we will still talk about it, because I'm going to watch it. All right, that's a sad situation. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I told you guys I wasn't going to go over 30 to 40 minutes. definitely not over an hour because it's late. So definitely I appreciate your views. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. Just tell me what you think about these. I think I only did 2 stories. I did 3 stories. I did the one about the mom. I forgot her first name, Tiffany L. I'm gonna call it Tiffany L. Who put the fecal matter inside her child's IV. And then I told you other stories like that as well. Then we talked about the mass purine in Canada. People unalive, like maybe some kids because it was at a school, and some injured. And then we talked about this case right here. So y'all let me know what y'all think, whatever your comments are regarding those 3 cases for True Crimes Tuesday. All right. Thank you guys again. If you want to show additional support, you can do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $shades2, or you can copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Don't forget, y'all, if y'all see the hype up button, hype this video up. Check out my other videos. If you watch Country Wayne, check out my reaction live tomorrow early afternoon, and check out my YouTube shorts. Okay? Other than that, you guys have a blessed night. Happy and blessed Wednesday. And this is Shades 2. Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. Jermaine, thanks for hanging in. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm out of here. Let me go ahead and change everything and take everything down. I'm getting ready to go to bed now, y'all. All right. Thanks, y'all. Let me change this real quick first. Oh, man. It takes forever to change all this stuff, you guys. Let's get out of here. All right. Oh, man, I got this wrong thing. I told you it's late, y'all. All right, y'all. Peace. It is late.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, ain't back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
Late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay.